Grace and peace, everybody. This is Straight Up with Nate, and I'm Nate. So to get right into the video, I do want to just be upfront and say I just may get a little emotional about this because what I'm going to talk about is actually very near and dear to my heart, and because for the month of March there are some ladies I want to honor. And let me be clear, I'm going to start with family. This is not to say that the rest of my family are not important or I don't care, I don't want to honor you, I don't want to, no. It's the month of March. Some of these ladies have been such a great inspiration for the last year and a half, and as well as taught me so much about myself, and at the same time taught me so much about how to grow as a person and where is it I need to go in terms of life. So to get right into it, whether you know or not, I've been blessed with 5, not 1, but 5 sisters in total. Well, I should technically say 6 now, because now I have a sister-in-law. The reason why I'm doing this video is because for the month of March we understand that it's Women's History Month. Well, I call it Women's Herstory Month because it's not simply Women's History, you know, put a play on the words, Women's Herstory Month. And so I felt that, you know, it was important to definitely honor some women in my life. I'm going to start with family, of course. I'm just going to probably stick with family in terms of discussing Women's Herstory Month and things of that nature. So the first one on my list is my sister Fallon. So Fallon, for those of you who may not know who she is, Fallon is my sister by love, and by God's grace she had the honor of being the wife to my big brother Joe. So Fal, this is to you. I love you, I appreciate you, I thank you so much for being such a big sister and adding into being such a big sister, and you know, always finding some time to be an encouragement, always finding some time to make me laugh, built up in God, and making sure that I was always walking in the ways that I should go. You know, it's all love, and since the day that you came into the family or you came around my family, it's nothing but love, nothing but jokes, nothing but, you know, development. And so I thank you so much for being a big sis. I thank you for being such a great mom to my niece and nephew, to the twins, beautiful young boy, beautiful young girl, and I thank you for being a great wife to my brother, and that you came into the family and you just brought in so much love, brought in so much development, brought up so much encouragement. And so for this I choose to honor you for Women's Herstory Month, and I just want to say I love you. Keep going, keep growing, keep becoming. I thank you so much yet again, and that I praise God that you came into my life, my family's life, and that you came at the time in which, you know, we all are transitioning, we're becoming, and you just only just added to it. And so I thank you so much for coming into our lives. I love you, I honor you, and that I hope you keep growing. I pray that God expands you, gives you new territory and things of that nature. That being said, that's one. Next is a bit of a doozy. But my big sister Mimi. Miriam is her full name, but I call her, the family, we call her Mimi. So Mimi, you already know, is all love, and you know, we have our arguments, of course, we're siblings and things of that nature, but there's a lot you've taught me, a lot that I've developed from this, a lot that I've grown from in terms of as a person. And you know, when it came down to when I went through certain things over the last few years or whatever was happening around me, you stepped up. And that, you know, when it's all said and done, I know that I would go to war with you at my left or my right, because at times when I was dealing with what I was dealing with, you came and you had my back, even when some people turned their backs on me, or some people didn't want to support me, or some people didn't want to talk to me. You made time. I could do a little bit better in certain areas, but you were always such a big supporter, always wanting me to do better, always wanted me to do bigger, and always wanted me to go to my next level. And so for this, I choose to honor you for Women's Herstory Month, and I want to say thank you. I love you. I may not say it all the time, but I'm going to start making an effort. But I pray that God expands you, God allows you to go to new heights, to new levels, to new experiences, and so on and so forth. So thank you yet again for being such a big sister, being a mom to Josh and Aaron, and that you continuously grow and become all that you need to become. The next one I got is my sister Debbie. And There's a lot that can be said about my sister Deborah, but the one thing I can say about her, to know her is to love her. And when I say this is because there was so much that she went through, so much that she endured over the last few years. But when it came down to it, similar to like all of my sisters, I'm not just going to say, some of my sisters, all of my sisters, she was there. She showed up, she came through, she stepped up, she did so much, and that she always made an effort to do so much for the family, including myself, including her children, and at the same time, always making time to have a conversation with me, even when at times I didn't want to talk. And for somebody like myself, I'm not always open to talking, but you made the effort to sit down and talk to me at times when I didn't want to talk. You made the effort to understand what I was dealing with, even when other people wanted to assume what I was dealing with. And so for that, I choose to honor you for Women's History Month, and I thank you so much for being such a big sis. Thank you for being a mother. Thank you for being a wife. Thank you for being all that you do, and that I hope that God expands you, God develops you, and so on and so forth, and things of that nature. This video, as you can tell, might not be long. For the last two, I will say I'm gonna do my best not to get emotional, but it's not guaranteed. For the last two, my mom in love, who is Fallon's mom, Micheline, oh yes, I wanted to honor her because there's so much about her that, even just coming into the family, and that she's another mom in the family, she was always so loving, always so open, always so welcoming, and things of that nature. I choose to also honor you, someone who is, whenever it is I see you, is nothing but love, always hugs, always kisses, always a funny word, a kind word, and always making sure that I was always in a good place, and that, wanted to make sure that I was okay, that I eat. As Haitians, we always want to make sure whoever it is that comes around us, we make sure that they eat, that they are good, and that they're being taken care of, things of that nature. And so for that, I thank you for always having so much love, always being so supportive, always being so available, and that when the time comes for us to have a conversation, you was there. And so, Mommy, I love you, I thank you, and I honor you, and I want to make sure that you see this, and I hope you see this, that I wanted to honor you for Women's History Month, and I thank you so much for being such an inspiration, such an encouragement, such a woman, such a queen, and things of that nature, being such a great grandmother to Joseph and Jolie, and that at the same time you always made an effort to do so much. I thank you, I honor you. Keep on going, keep on becoming. I pray God expands you, God allows you to become. I love you, and I thank you so much for being who you are and all that you do. Alright, with that being said, we're going to get to the last one. People know how much I love her, and how much we always have conversations, and we talk about everything. I can always say that this woman has been such a great inspiration. She taught me so much. Even if she didn't have to say anything, she was always willing to teach me, and willing to encourage, willing to push me, willing for me to be developed. And of course, you got it right. If you guessed it, it's my mom by birth. My mom, there's a lot that can be said about my mom. My mom has been such an inspiration, and she's been through so much, she's dealt with so much, and I can say that in everything that she does, she always makes it her business to love on me, to encourage me, to work with me, and at the same time show me how much more I'm capable of, what potential I have that's out in the world, and how I can make an effort to become better, bigger, and how I can expand and become greater in territory. And so for that, Mom, I choose to honor you, of course, for Women's History Month. And I think it is important for me to make it clear that, in a time, in a world where women may not be appreciated, I will say personally, I appreciate the women in my life, from my sisters to my mom in love, and also my mom by birth, where, in all honesty, I wanted to make sure that I did this video so that, we make it clear that we have to honor and love the women that are around us. back to my mom, you know, at times we would have our arguments, we would disagree, but when it comes down to it, my mom always held me down. She always had an encouraging word, always wanted me to go to new heights, and always made it her business to show me how much more I am capable of. I think I said that already, but beyond the point. But Mom, I love you so much. I thank you for your guidance. I thank you for your teaching. Thank you for being such a mom.